Hello and welcome to Scam Beta Central. In today's video I stumble upon a scammer accessing a victim's PC while the victim is away from keyboard. This scammer first logs into the victim's bank account, whereby he takes it upon himself to complete a scam by accessing bank account transactions and editing a transfer to show a fake refund has been made by Amazon. However, this scammer is totally unaware that his every move is being monitored and recorded, so as in my usual fashion, my aim is to undermine this scammer in his venture. During the final stages of this battle, I was able to stop the scammer in his tracks. This session played a little like the board game of chess. If you lose your queen, you have an uphill struggle to force checkmate. Once he lost his queen, it was only a matter of time before checkmate. Having watched this scammer for a few minutes, I soon realized that the victim was not present at her PC, and that the scammer had took it upon himself to lay the foundations ready for when the victim returned. The scammer had just calculated the victim's balance including the fake refund amount. I now decide to wade in. The first order of this session is to close the scammer's TeamViewer connection to the victim's desk via his own desktop. With the TeamViewer connection closed, the scammer now switches to his AnyDesk connection. During scams, most scammers prefer AnyDesk. This is because AnyDesk allows many features that are fairly easy for a scammer to instruct a potential victim on how to perform. For example, to enable connection, AnyDesk's default IDs are numerals only. However, a password is not needed at connection either, as the victim is directed to accept a session request, easy for the victim and for the scammer. Once a connection is made, mostly anyway, the scammer then instructs the victim on how to set a password to enable unattended access. This allows connection anytime, providing that AnyDesk is running and the device is connected to the internet. Also be aware of AnyDesk's Wake on LAN function. This function is enabled by default. With this function, a scammer can start your PC even if it is shut down. Pro tip: always switch off your computer at night and make a habit of turning off the power at the wall socket. If this is not possible, unplug the computer from its power source. TeamViewer, for instance, its password changes at each program startup. Its password is made up of alphanumeric characters. This can make the connection process challenging, not just for the victim, but also the scammer. Watch my latest video where I call a scammer using TeamViewer. For a victim who, for instance, suffers from dyslexia, reciting those alpha characters can be challenging. With this connection to TeamViewer now closed, the scammer now uses AnyDesk to complete the scam. With the scammer now intent on continuing the scam, I now attempt to shut down the victim's computer. Currently, the scammer is still unaware of my presence and assumes that the victim is now interacting with her PC. With this assumption, the scammer now attempts to enable AnyDesk's privacy mode, blanks the victim's screen, which ultimately fails due to the PC currently in the process of being shut down. With the PC now shut down, you would think that this scam attempt is dead. Well, it's not. This is due to AnyDesk's Wake on LAN option within Settings. By default, this option is enabled. With the victim's PC in the process of restarting, the scammer will now again reconnect with TeamViewer. Let's hinder the scammer's plans a little more by cancelling this connection. As you can see from the following AnyDesk warning, I am already connected to the victim's machine. I'm here. Again, the scammer attempts to enable privacy mode. This failure is due to the scammer having limited rights on the victim's machine. Now the scammer starts the victim's TeamViewer program. This is the only way that this scammer can connect via TeamViewer. It appears that TeamViewer has a custom password. The scammer now disables user input as well as blanking the victim's screen highlighted. At this point he still assumes the victim is using the PC. I now bring into view my connection to the victim's PC. The scammer now brings up the victim's banking page. I now attempt to prevent this login by disabling user input. Unfortunately, this does not have the desired effect. Also remember the victim is not present at this time. These preventions are not pre-planned affairs. There is no script to read from as each session is unique. I treat this like a game of chess. The scammer makes his move, then I decide my move to counter his move. If an idea don't work, I come up with a new one. Now I resize and reposition the scammer's desk to allow me to see both desks. And again the scammer proceeds to log into the victim's bank account. Once the scammer enters the victim's password, he unhides the entered data to check it's correct. Scammers use this tactic to retrieve victims' details. My AnyDesk connection closes unexpectedly. You can also see the scammer editing in the fake refund to the page HTML of the victim's bank account. So now to make another attempt at reconnecting to the victim's PC via AnyDesk. Now the scammer decides to uninstall AnyDesk from the victim's machine. Once this completes, he loses his queen and checkmate is just around the corner. AnyDesk has now been uninstalled from the victim's PC. Now the scammer, confident that he has removed the intruder from the victim's machine, now continues to edit in the fake refund in the victim's banking page. Now I trash a scammer's computer by closing all instances of TeamViewer. As you can see, this process, again, didn't have the desired effect. This is due to myself having minimal admin rights on this desk. The scammer's PC now stops responding, and I temporarily lose connection. Shortly after, the PC again comes back online. Now I turn my attention to the installation folder of TeamViewer on the scammer's PC and proceed to delete specific files to which TeamViewer requires to run. And now the coup de grace. That, Mr. Scammer, is checkmate. Now I just watch to see what his next move will be. Once any desk was uninstalled, the scammer is not able to reconnect via TeamViewer. We will now attempt deleting TeamViewer files again. This video clearly shows that once you give access to your PC to a scammer, that scammer will, without a doubt, access your PC, whether you're at the PC or not. This video also illustrates that while you are entering your banking details, these scammers will be making notes of all information you enter. If this information is hidden from view, you can guarantee that the scammer will unhide that information to gain access to it. For those of you that are new to these scams, here are a few tips. Never under any circumstances allow anyone to connect to your PC or any device over the internet. If you receive a call stating there has been a charge to any of your accounts, this also applies to emails and text, whether that's your bank or Amazon account. Verify that charge with your bank or Amazon, and never rely on anyone providing you with a number. Get that number either from a bill, a statement, or from the official website of that company. If you do receive a call and during that call you are asked if you have internet access or a device that enables you to go online, say no to internet access or device. Without either, the scam cannot be completed. Never give personal, credit, or debit card details over the phone, unless you are certain that the caller is from a genuine company. Never enroll to online banking while you have an active remote desktop connection. As always, if you enjoy this kind of content, please like and do consider subscribing if you haven't already. Find me on Discord, link in the description. Please consider supporting my channel on Patreon. I would also like to extend my gratitude to current Patreon donators for their continued support.